Hello, my name is Josh Malate, and this is my life. I am known mostly as an engineer, or sometimes a teacher, but there is more to me than that. I was born many years ago to two amazing parents that have given me everything to make me who I am today. My dad is from the Philippines, but moved here when he was very young, so you can mostly understand what he says. My mom's a Canadian, born and bred. About 2 years after I was born, my parents had another kid, Alicia. Alicia and I didn't always have the closest relationship growing up, mostly because I tortured her. I always remember locking her in rooms or scaring her from behind a corner, not realizing that she shouldn't have to be scared in her own house. Probably one of the first things I can really clearly remember as a child when my other sister was born, Sarah. I remember mostly because I brought Sarah to school for show and tell one day. It was very easy to upstage the guy who brings a rock shaped like a star when you bring an actual little human being. My family was very happy, and I was very thankful to have such loving parents that devoted so much time to us. In school, I was a pretty shy guy, never the center of attention, but somehow always in the mix. Probably the most daring thing I ever did was to put a tack on my teacher's chair, but I took it off before she got back. But somehow, I still got in trouble. When I got to junior high, I became interested in band, which is very important later in the story. I played the alto saxophone and really loved to honk away on it any chance I could get. I played in the band all through junior high and then through high school, where I found an activity that really worked for me, marching band. After high school, I wanted to keep doing band, so I joined a group called Allegiance Elite, and had a lot of fun there, touring around the United States and making some great friends. After Allegiance Elite ended, I wanted to do something else, so I joined a group called the Stampede Band. Honestly, I'm on the fence about how my time went with the Stampede Band, but I do have them to thank for probably the most important thing in my life. I remember the first practice I went to. I didn't know too many people, but I had a friend, Lauren McKenzie, who was nice enough to try to introduce me to some people. I remember her saying, "There's a girl you have to meet. She helps organize things and is really fun. Josh, this is Christine." I do not believe in love at first sight, and I do not claim that there was love in the moment. But from the moment I saw her, I knew she was someone special, and someone that I wanted to get to know more. I said, "Hi," a little bit flustered, and she said, "Hi, nice to meet you, gotta run," and just like that, she was gone. At the time, I had no idea that that moment would change my life forever. I bet she didn't know either, or maybe she would have stayed longer to talk to me. I can't recall exactly our next interaction, but I do remember our friendship start to grow over the next few months. We were both lighthearted, funny, smart, determined, and surprisingly compatible, considering at the time we were both dating other people. Despite our significant others, we had a growing yet innocent relationship for the next 3 years. We always found each other in conversations as a group, and there seemed to be an endless battle to be the one to pay for the bill, which I believe I continuously won. I remember being addicted to a TV show called Beauty and the Geek, and texting with Christine every time we watched it about who was going to go home. Again, texting in the day before there was autocorrect. We spent many hours together, and with others at the university, passing time by sitting on the couches in Mac Hall, analyzing anything and everything going around us. I was lucky enough to happen into a class with Christine after I did some major schedule rearranging. And somehow it turned out to be my most well-attended class, despite the lack of interesting content. The content to me was the time I got to spend getting to know someone, even if it was just by unscrambling words. There came a time, though, when we were both nearing the end of school, and we were not marching in the bands anymore. As I look back now, this could have been a big turning point in our now strong friendship. As if our regular interactions ceased, who knows if we would have continued to make time for each other. But by luck, I didn't have to worry about this. To celebrate the end of school, a group of us planned to head to Christine's family cabin for a weekend. But at the last second, everyone backed out. Everyone except her and I. This was an interesting conundrum, as we had yet to spend a prolonged amount of time together alone. Would we be able to keep up conversation for an 8-hour drive? How would we be able to exist with no one else to entertain us? The trip turned out to be nothing short of amazing. We went through the 8-hour drive without ever turning on the radio once. Engaging conversations with an engaging lady. We golfed, played Trivial Pursuit until we fell asleep, and pushed each other on morning runs by the lake. But one night, things came into focus for me. Christine and I sat out on the dock, in the front of the boat, and talked about what our futures were. What did we want to do? What was important to us? Why did we get up every morning? And the most surprising thing, to me, was that our answers were the same. Not once had I ever met someone who fit so well with who I was and who I wanted to be. Once I returned to Calgary, I knew that I needed this girl to be in my life for real, not just as a friend that I had known her to be to date. As we were in the same group of friends, we had to keep our budding romance a secret, rendezvousing to ride around the reservoir, or for a walk, or from my favorite ice cream. As we had just finished school and were both jobless, I said, "Let's go to California." And to my surprise, she agreed. Although I didn't tell her for a while after, I fell in love with Christine on that trip. I knew that there was no one that I would ever have more fun with, or want to experience more things with than her. And since that moment, I have done just that. I have never talked to someone more. I have never traveled to such exotic places with someone more. I've never crossed things off my bucket list with someone more. I've never held onto a tube for dear life with someone more. I've never golfed, sang, or danced with someone more. And I've never fought with, or fought for something as hard as I fight for her. So where does this leave me now? I've reached a point in my life where there is definitely no doubt in my mind that Christine is the perfect girl, the perfect leader, she's the perfect confidant, the perfect motivator, the perfect teacher, and the perfect partner. So, what happens now?